Hey guys, welcome, welcome, and welcome again. How's everybody doing out there?
3 welcomes. Wow.
That's where I'm at today. This is a three welcome kind of Friday. Welcome, welcome,
Try
welcome.
welcome days. Nice. Today's also the day that we turned the heat back on. Because what the heck? Why is it cold outside?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with weather nowadays. It's these are unprecedented times.
Yeah. Yeah. Unprecedented.
There's no precedent.
Without precedent.
But I mean, it's
Right.
also just it's just spring in Colorado too. So, how's everybody doing out there? Everybody doing good?
Anybody? Everybody all at once? Don't say anything all at once.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of hellos.
Everybody used
That's
all their
good.
hellos up. Hello, 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 hi, hello, hello, hi, hi, hello. Hey, Dr. Nick.
Dr.
All
Nick?
right.
I didn't see Dr. Nick post. Where'd he post at?
Nothing. It was just a Simpsons reference in general. With
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
Hi, Dr.
Because
Nick.
I was like, for some reason, that totally reminds me of The Simpsons.
Dr. Nick would be a good username on social media. Probably underused.
Hi, everybody.
That's the one. Hi, Dr. Nick. Ooh. Matt's painting some trim and watching some SketchUp. Sounds like a good day, Matt.
Today's JDC's birthday. This is
Wow.
how to spend your birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
JDC.
birthday, JDC. My wife's was yesterday, so we went hiking. So you're in good company, and you should go hiking.
That sounds like a good plan. Awesome. Yep. Multitasking, painting and watching. That's the way to do it. Oh.
So I'll listen to podcasts while I'm working in my shop, or I'll even listen to
Multitasking.
shows in the background. So
That
yeah,
works.
I don't think is that tricksy.
Oh, it's good. It's a good thing. It keeps you from getting bored with the thing you're supposed to be doing.
That's right. Or I'm twice as entertained.
Either way.
Wow.
Oh, it's a round one. That's all right, guys. It is once again Friday afternoon, and I know we missed Star Wars Day. Star Wars Day was Monday, and we already talked on Wednesday about how Jody and I took time off. But doesn't mean we can't celebrate it now. It's belated. It's a belated May the 4th on May the 8th. So we're gonna do some Star Wars stuff. We couldn't just not do anything, you know. So we are going to be doing the Razor Crest, which is the ship from the Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. If you haven't seen it before, it's a Star Warsy ship. It kind of looks like a clone carrier from the prequel.
It has a cartoon feel, like it would be right out of the animated series that they're doing, sort of alongside the prequels.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would second that notion.
I don't think I realized that it was called the Razor Crest. I don't know that I saw it properly named anywhere. So this is I've already learned something new.
They did call it out 2 times. The very first one, the guy he's bringing in mentions it. He recognizes it, and then they talk about it later when he meets up with his fellow bounty hunters, and they all go on a mission together. The guy from Sons of Anarchy with the big beard, that guy, he talks about it.
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name, but yeah. Anyhow, we're going to go deeper. We're going to get nerdy with this thing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun Friday, and this is going to be a pretty awesome model. I do want to clarify one thing. So the social image that we gathered, I grabbed a file off of 3D Warehouse, which was a beautiful OBJ of the Razor Crest. It looks like it was pulled from something else, though. It was definitely high polygon, heavy model. I don't know where it came from, but it does look like maybe it was this hasn't been in a video game, so I don't know if it was ripped from something or if it was pulled from the original model from the film. I don't know, but
so it says in the bottom corner of the image, it says 3D CAD rendering fan art.
Oh no, I'm talking about the one we used for the
your original
social posts. Yeah. So I'm not planning on making that, especially in 3. It was a beautiful model. It's really good. I mean, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it anyhow, go look up Mandalorian or Razor Crest in 3D Warehouse. It's an awesome ship, but I won't be able to get near the level of detail in just 3 hours. So we'll be making our own version. It'll be fun. Volume's right where it normally is, so Mario. So if I go any bigger, it's going to start to crackle. So you might have to turn your volume up a little bit. All right, so before we launch into this, though, I do want to, as usual, let's point out a couple of things. Let's look at some stuff. So first thing is just mentioning this. It is on our forum, forums.sketchup.com.
Hey, you want a link? I got a link for that.
Oh, there we go.
Here, I'll post a link.
So as we get in here, I will be asking if anybody's got good images of different pieces, especially the engines, the guns in particular, are pretty low quality on this drawing that we're working off of. So if anybody's able to dig up any photo reference, that would be awesome. I also wanted to call out our coworker Colin took this. This was the original image I found, and I just found this on just looking around. So it was a good isometric views. It'll be good to model off of along with other photo reference. And our coworker Colin took it and upped the quality. So he used some magic sci-fi CSI stuff and enhanced the image. So we've made plenty of jokes about that.
Yeah, I think that he maybe used to work for CSI or something like that. You know, one of those groups.
Enhance. James Bond's been doing that since the 70s, so I don't know why it's such a big deal.
All right, so here's a real question: is how often do you find yourself in real life like trying to do like a pinch, like gestures to try and look at things that are not actually on a screen?
Too often, yeah. I hate to admit this, but I've actually gone onto paper and tried to make gestures to move. Only once. I only did it once and realized how dumb I was being. But like I didn't keep doing it. But I have been reading books and like had a moment of Control F, like looking for my Control F and realizing like I didn't really look hard, but I'm just like I just need to. Oh wait, I can't do that. This is tree matter. We get so used to it. Yeah, so he uploaded a much bigger image, so that'll be it. I mean, again, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull a whole lot of detail off this. This is definitely going to get us the basic shapes, which is going to be great. We'll still have to, like I said, default to some other maybe screenshots or something like that to go into a whole lot of detail, but this is a great place to start.
Did you know, as I'm going to look for this, there is an actual Razor Crest Lego kit?
There is. It hasn't been released yet, though.
Oh, yeah. Coming out September. Yeah.
Not that I'm waiting.
Yeah, they're finally getting toys for this series 9 months after it came out.
What were they thinking, that it was going to bomb or something?
I don't know.
You'd be safe and not create a toy for once?
My main takeaway is that there's going to be a Baby Yoda minifig for that that kit when it comes out.
I'm looking forward to that. The other thing, and as we've been doing on Fridays, we do have more entries into the Finish This House challenge. So if you haven't heard this, Finish This House is where we posted a shell of a structure and asking you to use SketchUp to finish it out. Do something unique, fun, whatever you want with it. Make it look cool. So we've got quite a few entries. I've been going through them each week. I just want to go through what's new and let you guys know we will be actually meeting a handful of us internally will meet and pick what we think is the best one so far. What I hope to be able to do is to actually get the winner, I'm not going to say winner, the person that we identify as having the best one so far, we're going to get them, maybe if we can, on the live stream next Friday, just to give us, for a couple minutes, just talk us through what they had done, how they did their design, that sort of thing. I'm not sure if it's going to work out or not, but that's our thought. So hopefully when we come back here next week, we can tell you the one that we thought was the coolest one so far, and maybe even talk to somebody about their entry. So with that, I just want to buzz through these. The first new one here is Edson's, and he went and actually uploaded some hand drawings, which is kind of cool. I don't know, I geek out about that. I think that's fun. That's neat. But then he has his drawing here, landscape, very clean again, which apparently I like. Very nice. Got sections, very professional layout, and then some rendering or not rendering, but isometric, not isometric,
views,
perspective views. Thank you. Wow, ooh, that's how Friday's gonna be, huh?
I'm prepared now.
That's right. Brace yourself. And then Jack here actually took somebody else's and viewed it in the AR app for mobile and put their house in his house next to a giant cat. Below that, I think this was an explanation because this was up here, and I was a little confused about the layout because I saw the circle and this thing over the top, and I couldn't identify where the house actually was. So who is this? Map Out put up kind of an exploded view showing how they took the original house and built upon it, which is awesome. Like I said, I remember looking at it going, yeah, this view, I didn't actually see where the original house was. So good. Way to, I appreciate that clarification. I wasn't calling you out saying they didn't do it. I was just saying I couldn't see it.
Way to make SketchUp yours.
That's keep going. It's going to catch on eventually. Here we had what was called an Incan House, and this was kind of neat because they took the shape and laid it out, and I was not sure it's laid here over a labyrinth. I guess the basement goes into a labyrinth, so that was unique. I don't think we had any other labyrinth entries.
Yes, yeah.
Cool, very nice. S. Miller, I'm assuming that is, had a very, again, I'm gonna use the term clean. These keep coming out very clean. Nice layout, just didn't really mess with the original shape, more finished it. So got some landscaping and then interior design, very nice layout there. Daniel put up just a rendering of his previous, he had two. One was that very modern, very sleek vertical view, and then the other was more traditional, and he put up a new render. He called it a French manor. We were talking about how it looked East Coast-ish, which makes sense, right? That's French Quarter's a thing out east somewhere.
That's not East Coast, though. The French Quarter in New Orleans.
It's east of here.
It's east of here. That's true. I shall not fault you.
All right. Al Gabure is saying that they posted some images, but the file itself was too big. And I got to say, you got a cool looking thing here, but if you can't get a link to the warehouse up, we won't be able to call you a winner. So do what you can to slim it down and get it posted up here. We'd love to dive deeper into it, but we can only do that if you can get it up onto warehouse. So I won't call it a disqualification, but you can
honorable
still have
mention
it there. But yeah, that's the best you could do. All right, I think that's most of it. Leo had his is finished here, simple and clean. He caught on to the fact that I keep saying that, but got some nice finish here. Good looking guy there in the window, looks like. I like the sound of that. That's nice. Almost there. RKC 0617 did a beach house. We did a beach house challenge a little while back, and took our existing house and put it on a beach with some beautiful finish, shutters, everything. Nice work. That looks good. All right, scrolling through here. Oh, I like this. Skeeter Kalamazoo stuck it into a cliff. Not on the cliff like Jono had the very first entry, but this one's actually kind of in and surrounded by a cliff. Very cool. Nice. So yeah, you guys have given us a lot to look at. This is awesome. Everybody did a great job. We're going to take it and dive in and look at the 3D models for each of these, and we're going to try to, I think Monday we're scheduled to do that, try to pick our favorite so far, and hopefully get one of you actually on the call Monday, or next Friday.
No. Yeah, Friday.
Friday, and you can walk us through how you did what you did. So awesome. Great job. Thank you very much. You
So
guys are great.
based on this the cliff being on that last one, I'm kind of wanting to see another evil lair looking place. Where would Dr. Evil build his relocate this building? Did we have a kind of an evil lair looking vibe to at least one of
that very first one from Jono, who might be on it, he was on last time, took it and put it sideways into the side of a cliff, and Casey called it out, saying it looked like a James Bond villain's lair.
So I'm not a big fan of the use of evil, because I think that, there's evil is painting in too broad strokes. So maybe it's not an evil lair, but maybe it's just let's go with nefarious lair. How about that? Does that sound better?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, maybe they're not evil. Maybe they're just misunderstood.
That's true. Maybe they're just slightly rude.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they're on the spectrum.
Who knows? Somewhere there's maybe evil has a, from talks back to his mother to a homicidal maniac. There's a spectrum in there of evil.
Evilish.
Evilish.
All right. Well, let's carry on.
Goes into a store without wearing a mask right now.
Exactly.
Anyhow, I don't want to go there. I do not pretend it's it. Forget it. I'm not. Nope.
All right. Pull back. Let's talk
Bruce
about
Albers on YouTube asks if you have to send to the forum. Yes. The only way that we will see them is if you go to that forum thread. So in the SketchUp gallery, it's called Finish This House Entries. You have to put them there. That's the only place we'll be looking at them. So if you put pictures onto social media or you direct message someone, they're not going to get onto the list unless they're in that form. That's the only place we'll actually be looking for entries. So you do have to get it there, and it does have to be 50 megabytes or smaller, so it does have to load on the warehouse. So that's kind of was really our only limitation. You can do whatever you want as long as it uploaded to warehouse and you put it in the forum. So that's great. So you're halfway there. Now all you need to do is go to the forum and make a post. Jody can put a link up to that also.
I can. I mean, I might not. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Ooh, that's on the evil spectrum, totally.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Could help
sarcasm.
Everybody out, but won't.
I like this.
All right, Sean TX2197 says his first time to watch live. Welcome, Sean. I'm glad you could make it. Hopefully this lives up to some version of your expectations for the day. All right. Oh, so much talking. I'll take a quick nap and then we'll get back into this. All right, so I'm going to load the image that, the sharper image, the one that Colin gave us. So first thing I'm going to do is go to my preferences. I'm going to make sure that I have use maximum texture size turned on. That is on. And I'm going to go to File, Import. And I'm going to go grab Razor Crest from my desktop. And this is the same image I put in the forum. So I'm just going to...
Is it yours or is it Colin's?
This is Colin's version. So
okay.
I'm going to throw this on the ground. And just going to make it... I'm going to make it big. This is probably larger than life. Yes, according to Laura there, this is big. Okay, so this is what I want to work off of. Like I said, this right now is everything I have, and this should be good enough to get our shell started. There's, it's a Star Wars ship. So there's panel lines and greeblies and stuff all over this thing. Way more. This is actually too clean. This is not enough stuff on here. If you look at the one in the show, it's got pipes and open panels and all kinds of mess on here. So this is a little bit, maybe this was like the brochure for a brand new ship. Like this is like.
I'll go back to saying this looks like it's out of the cartoon or out of the animated series.
This is just
to be a little sparse with.
Just too clean, too much. It's too nice. So yeah. So but I mean it's great. This is what we'll work from. We'll throw together some original lines to work off of, and we'll start from here. So I'm thinking as I look at this, I'm trying to figure out how to best tackle this because I really kind of feel like there's two pieces. There's this chunk in the middle, right? This big, looks like a bus or something. And that's the body of the ship. And then it has these two kind of wings. And the wings don't just stick out. You can see from the top, they actually kind of branch out from the whole body. So it starts, this wing starts right here, and you see it comes back like that. It comes out. So it's actually the whole thing. This right here, this little skinny piece, this is actually this body here. So I'm thinking maybe the first piece to model is maybe we do the cockpit, and then from the cockpit we can bulk out the rest of this body, throw the wings on, throw the engines on, and then just start adding detail, something like that. I don't know. I don't really know exactly how this is all going to go, but I feel like that's a place to start.
That's the beginning. We'll call that the beginning.
You got to begin somewhere. All right, so what I am thinking is that I will start and turn on X-ray so I can see my lines. I want to start by maybe tracing out this profile right here. Looks like that goes to right about there. And then I have what looks like it'll just be a normal arc right here. And then this looks like it's going to be actually a stretched out arc. And I'm thinking, actually, I'm just going to do this. Because it looks like, as I look at this and this, it looks like I have this same shape. This rounded shape right here is actually going to be used a push-pull, or I'm sorry, a follow-me all the way down like that. And then down here, we have a different arc profile that chops off the bottom. So I'm going to grab...
You could use large image splitter. Dave's not here to do it, to tell you that, so Marconi did.
Oh, thanks, Marconi. Just when I thought I got free of Dave's stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it, but honestly, for this drawing, it's so clean, I don't really feel a need to get a whole lot more detail than this. I think this is going to work for now, but we'll see. If we get to the point where I need more, then we'll use your large image splitter. All right, so I'm drawing a line across here, and then I'm going to come out like this. I'm going to have this part be square, and then this part is going to arc back. So I do want my arc to, see if I can get it to be tangent to both ends like this. Oh, here, get rid of this. There we go. Get rid of this, get rid of this. That's not going to work. There we go. Well. Something like that. I can start with that, and then I'm going to grab that, use rotate to flip a copy of that 180 degrees. All right. So I may have been just a little off. Grab this, scale it down. All right, so I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to make it a group. I'm going to make it a group because I don't want it to join with any other geometry while I do this next piece. So I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to turn it. You know, I'm going to do this too. I'm going to grab this drawing, and I'm going to put it on a new tag called ref, which I can just turn off. So I want to follow this, but obviously I don't want to follow like this. I want to turn it so it's perpendicular to this end. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to do 2 rotates, one this way 90 degrees, and then one on the blue axis 90 degrees. And now I want to run.
It still says save, or I mean untitled at the top. Doesn't look like it's been saved yet. It's weird.
Must be a bug.
Yeah.
That was the longest sigh I could muster. All right, saved. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to follow me with this shape all along here. I left this little line here, this break right here, because this is where that other arc comes in and cuts this arc. So I want to hold on to that line. But this is where I want to actually take that shape and follow. So I have my arc here, so I'm going to hit follow me. And when I come here, of course, it's grouped, so I can't click on it and make it follow. But I can right-click, edit group, and then click the face, and that pulls that down like that. All right, I'm going to close this up right now. So I'm going to draw a line like this. And then I'll use rectangle.
What? I thought you just used lines.
I know, but look at me use rectangle. Look at me do it.
Yeah, it's a new Aaron.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I sure know how to use that.
Also could have push-pull a line, right?
I could have drawn it once and
Push
pulled it
line.
up. Yeah, you're right. I could have. I didn't. All right, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup here. Get rid of these inside lines because I don't want them. I don't want to soften them. I actually want to erase them. That's another thing I'm going to really try to do with this is, I mean, I'm not going to make a super low poly model, but I want this to be a usable model. I want this to be fairly, performant. I'm going to take all of that, reverse faces, and I'll go ahead and soften it real quick. Ooh, how'd it get so soft? That's too soft. All right, there we go. Something like that.
So are you doing this since it looks pretty symmetrical? Are you doing it half at a time, or is what's your plan here?
I don't know. Haven't got that far.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right.
Like I said, that it is very symmetrical. If we go turn our reference back on, if I was to cut it down the middle, it would pretty much be the same side to side. It looks like, this is asymmetrical. Looks like maybe, yeah, most of it looks like some of the paint is different one side to the next. But most of it, yeah, is pretty symmetrical.
We don't even paint these things.
That's right. It's going to come out white.
Raw metal.
All right. So the other image I have is actually the one that Tengel just posted on the forum, which was, it's a, like a, not section cut, it's a cutaway. That's the image. If you guys have seen those cutaway images of Star Wars ships and buildings and stuff like that, pretty cool. You can see inside, see where all the stuff is stored, see all the made up names for things and parts.
Is this from a book like this? Like we have, I think we even have it somewhere around here. A book that has all these different ships. It looks just like it does out of the book.
It does. I mean, it looks exactly the same as those books. But I don't think this hasn't been around long enough to be in a book yet. I mean, maybe they already did do a book. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to ask the Google.
Okay. All right. So here I want to create this kind of shape. So what I'm going to have to figure out, so it looks like to me, I got this big back end right here. That carries through most of this. It's a little confusing how it all intersects though. I do think, oops, I need to get rid of that. I just want to get rid of this.
I feel like there's a missed opportunity that this picture is not when it's all torn apart by Jawas. I mean, that's the ultimate cutaway, right?
Stupid Jawas. Wrecking Den's ship. Sorry. Got me a little worked up there. All right. So I want to create the arc here. I'm going to use Bezier curve here because it's not an even arc. It actually comes down more like really like that. That was actually pretty close to what I want to see. I'm going to go like this, go halfway here, half halfway here. And then I'm going to take that and rotate it. Big fan of rotating those halves. All right, and then I'm just going to push these down as far as they will go. If you guys have hit this before, but when you get to a point like this, obviously I can't push pull through a rounded shape like that. So in order to push pull that through, I need to unsoften that first. But to do this, what I'm going to do, so if I go to push pull, I can pull back this way, but I can't go this way anymore because it hits that curve. But if you hit Option, I can pull a copy through. So I'm just going to pull a copy through there, Option, pull a copy through there, and they lap over each other. I'm not done because I still have to select all of it, right click, intersect face with selection, and then I can come in here and delete this extra geometry off. Oop, something didn't intersect, or I grabbed too much. What happened?
All right, so I'm going to jump off on a little bit of trivia here. I went searching for where this image came from.
All right.
This fellow Max Tiarev. Anyway, he just did this whole thing on his own, like on ArtStation.
Oh, nice.
Like one of the comments here is from one of the senior modelers at ILM. Said, "Fantastic, man, you nailed it. Trust me." So I'm guessing this is pretty authentic.
Well
and also
done.
not official.
All right, something didn't
Maybe we need to
intersect
get Max on the
right
show.
here. There we go. I had to intersect twice for some reason there. It was not, yeah, something's not breaking here too. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's the one. That's the missing break right there. And something's not breaking here. Well, let's work our way through and see if we can't figure out why. I'm not up for much investigative work, so I'm not going to work very hard for this. Oh. Just grab the lines and delete them. There we go. Yeah, if I had modeled just a half too, I'd be that much closer to done right now.
Yeah, whereas now you're 10%, you could have been 20%.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't thinking that big even. I was just thinking with this piece.
Okay, instead of being 3% done, you could be 6% done. I don't know. I do this all day. As long as we stay under 100, we're good.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that thing in your left hand?
Whoa, what's that doing there? This right here, my friend, is a 3D mouse. Okay, you want more than that?
Thanks. Nope. I think that's probably good.
So this is a tool that allows me to move around in 3D space like this, quick and easy. It also has shortcut keys, so I can actually jump to different commands real quick and easy. It allows me to, rather than using my mouse in my right hand to move in 3D, I can do all that 3D work over here with this hand, and that leaves this hand open to do other commands, so other pieces that I have to do. It's a great way, it's for two reasons. One is if you're a designer and you're looking for a way to optimize your workflow to make yourself faster than you are right now, it'll definitely speed it up because, like I said, it gives you two hands available instead of just the one. The other thing is it really does a nice job. I got some mess happening here. It does a really good job. Oh, there's the problem. Okay.
Well, good stitching. This will help everybody properly believe that this is real Aaron, not fake Aaron.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
We laugh to keep from crying.
A little bit. Um, but no, 3D mouse is great because the other thing it does a real good job at is this. So animating in 3D space, as I move around here, it's just a little bit more smooth. It's, you know, as SketchUp users, we get used to the zoom in, zoom out of the middle button. We get used to the drag orbit. This stuff is normal for us. But if you're showing somebody SketchUp, you're showing somebody your model, having this nice fluid movement, it's really nice for somebody who doesn't know SketchUp as far as when they move around. So I use it for those two reasons.
And it also gives you something to talk about, because
That's right.
otherwise we'd just be sitting here quietly clicking.
That's right.
Clicking.
Thanks. Thank you for asking. All right, so I got this cut underneath, but now I need one more round section that's right here. So I'm going to grab this, make it a group, and I'm going to temporarily hide it so I can get this arc right here. So if I grab those two lines like that, those are the lines it's going to vanish to. And I'm going to draw another Bezier curve from here to here. First one's going to come down like this. Second one's going to come back like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shape like that. So I'm creating a cutter. So this is going to be a 3D cutter that's going to take a chunk out of my main piece. So if I go to...
I like to call that the chin. Looks like a chin strap.
I would take that. That makes sense to me. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my hidden objects, because there's going to be my body of the crest. I call it the crest for short. The RC. No, that doesn't work.
Yep. I mean, Den calls it the crest.
So yeah, me and Din, you know. Oh man, I was gonna have my my Mandalorian helmet ready for some nerdery, but I have forgotten. Dang. All right, then I'm gonna align it. So there, I pushed it back so it hit this side of the cutter. Now I'm gonna grab it here, pull it along the green axes till the bottom hits the cutter. I'll turn on my hidden geometry real quick.
Where is your helmet? Is it at home? Is it at the office?
It's somewhere behind me.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
It's behind. Oh, made me look. It's behind the green screen. Ooh, so good. All right, so it's right now. It's telling me. So I want to use this to chop off. Use this. There we go. Use this piece to cut the edge off of this piece. But it's telling me right now that. Hold on. I'm thinking now. Yeah, no, I still want to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop thinking. Stop thinking, just do it. It's telling me right now that this is not a solid. This piece I created, if I make this into a group, boom, solid group. This, for some reason, isn't, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Solid Inspector. I have some straight edges and an internal face.
I blame your stitching business.
That could be. I probably should have. Once I saw that, I should have just hit undo and redone the whole thing.
Stitches get error messages, I think is how the expression goes.
That's the way I've heard it.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
Stitches get non-solid groups. Rolls off the tongue. Yes. All right. So this piece is going to cut from this piece. So I'm going to grab this piece, hit subtract from this piece. And there I got that end rounded. It doesn't look beautiful right now, but I want to see what happens if I grab it and I just soften it. That was too much. I don't buy that. I don't love it. But I'm trying to figure out.
I think Andy might have actually figured out what the proper expression was. I was apparently butchering it. said a stitch in time creates stray lines.
Oh, wow. Are you in marketing, Andy?
Yeah. So I keep looking at your shirt, and it's reminding me of this comedy bit. You ever watch the Mitchell and Webb Look? It's like a British sketch comedy show.
I don't think I have.
And they have this whole bit going on where one of them is like they're Nazis, just a couple of soldiers that are Nazi soldiers, and they're sitting around, and one of them all of a sudden starts wondering, are we the baddies? And they look around, and everybody's got skulls on their hats and their coffee mugs, and like everything about them just looks bad and evil. And that's what I was wondering about the stormtroopers. Like, at what point did they ever stop and wonder, are we the bad guys?
Well, okay, so we've opened the can. So originally they were clones, right? So they were programmed. So
Right.
they didn't get to think about that. They just did what they were supposed to do. And then
Right.
at some point,
Free will happened.
right.
Maybe, I guess.
Right. So you got to think, at some point they started becoming people, right? And they were just forcibly recruited, but recruited. All right. So I don't like this. I'm sorry. I got to come back to this. I don't like the way this turned out at all. It's ugly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this top point right here. I'm just making a line for my own reference. I'm going to cut out everything from here down. So from here down, I'm just going to wipe it all out. And then I'm going to take this profile and bring it up and have it blend back into this. I think that's going to work better. This is too ugly. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to grab all this, say intersect faces with the model. And I'm not messing with solids right now because all I really want to do is grab that piece and delete it. I want to keep a hold on this one. If I look at my hidden geometry again, I want to create an arc where this shape kind of comes up. So, and then I'm hoping that I can kind of blend that then into this arc. I know they're different arcs, but that's not unexpected. I kind of expected that to be the case. And if you look at the drawings, you can actually see that's why it has this odd shape like this, because those two arcs are coming together. So let's see what I can do with that. I'm thinking of, I'm going to lock this. I'm going to explode this and make it a group. Then I can lock it. Locking just means I can't erase it. I can still turn it on and off, but I can't accidentally erase it like I just did. All right, now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take this out. Whoops. I'm taking this out of context because I think I'm going to have to intersect some geometry at some point. So let's grab this, stick it right here. Because it's out of context, it's not going to join with that geometry. And I want it to do something like this. All right, so I'm going to grab that, follow me with this shape. Let's soften that up and make it a new group. And let's see how that intersects with the other piece I was looking at. All right, so I'm going to have to pull the face forward. So that is how it would intersect. So it won't actually intersect completely because those two arcs don't hit. See, so I got a problem right here.
Oh,
so
you're gonna have to loft it. Yeah, that's probably it.
That's kind of what I'm. That's the point I'm getting to with my. Otherwise, it's that. That might actually work. Hold up, everybody relax.
Just chill.
Just chill. Seriously, guys. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
You could not save before you start getting crazy.
What's worse that could happen now?
Yeah,
there is.
Your computer could crash, I guess.
Why you gotta be so negative?
You asked for. You're actually throwing it out there. You're soliciting this feedback.
Oh, so it's
actually,
my fault.
I should be cursing you. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I should be cursing you for putting me in the position of negativity. You know, I try to be a nice guy.
Yeah. Well.
And now look what happens.
Yep. I'm trying to remember what it is I'm hoping to get out of this point. I've gone to the point where I don't remember what I'm doing now.
Right now, I'm watching and I'm waiting for it to really get good. To just like it all to click.
I know. I want it to click so badly. All right, I'm gonna do. I'm not sure what to do. Okay, so yes, I do. I know what I want to do. All right, I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna bump it forward until right there. I'm going to enter that group and pull it out this way.
We can get your 1 o'clock coffee in early. That'll kick you up into overdrive a little bit sooner.
Maybe. Get ahead of schedule. All right. I'm gonna make a cutter. It has been decided. I have spoken.
This is the way.
This is the way. Okay. All right, and now if I go get rid of that. All right. Let's see why that's not. All right, so this now, all right, I'm gonna cut this shape out of this shape and I'm just gonna see what happens. Why do I keep turning off my solid tools? I know I'm gonna use them again. All right, let's do that. Let's go subtract that from that. Did that wrong apparently. All right, we're gonna take this and subtract it from this. That didn't work at all. Am I not overlapping? I am.
Dan said this looks a lot like modeling an Airstream. Apparently he's never watched you model an Airstream.
Ouch.
Sick burn, dog.
Yeah. Nice work. All right, this works. No, it doesn't because it lost this whole. All right. Yeah, let's loft. Let's loft this thing. Oops, I gotta undo some more. All right, so what I'm gonna do instead is we're gonna go to turn on our hidden stuff. I'll stick that solid tools up there. See if I remember that's there. I will go. I still want to put an arc right here because I do want this. Oops. Put an arc like that. I want to have that happen. In the front, let's see, how do I want that to break in the front? I still want this shape. Oh, I lost my shape though. That's okay. I know how to get it back.
Steve said it's looking like a loft cause.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Nice. Yeah. I feel like I don't even have to be here. I'm just let the puns just trickle in.
You've done it. let's do this. All right, so this is my front edge. Grab that. I'm going to stick that right now at the bottom and rotate it. Nope, that's the only direction I don't want to rotate it, so I'll rotate it this way. Then we'll rotate it this way, and then I'm going to scale it about the middle so it comes out like that.
Since you're taking forever on this, I'm looking at the picture that looks like the cut in half version.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little graphic bit on here that said that on Den's left arm, he has a remote start controller so he can fire up the chip from his armor. And I'm wondering, like, my remote start for our car is a separate little key fob. Why are we not wearing like bracers with all this stuff integrated? I mean, how much simpler could your life be if you had a bracer with the electronics to do all your different stuff? You just all look like you got your power glove on.
Sounds like this is something you need to start. You, Jody Gates, could be the bracer
on the leading edge.
You could be the guy. Maybe. You could be that guy. Thank you.
I mean, I've been called that guy before, but was that the 1 o'clock coffee?
Time to make this. Time to make this happen.
Nice.
My wonderful wife brought me coffee again. Yeah, I'm never going back to the office. All right, I have. I'm not messing around anymore. I'm done with this. All right, so I'm going to take these 3 lines. I'm going to follow me with this shape. I know, but you're saying, but it's not the same. It's different. I know. I don't
even know what's going on right now.
Sorry.
I was just eyeing your coffee lustfully. My cup is empty. And apparently my wife doesn't love me.
It's the only way to read the situation.
That's right. There is but one conclusion.
So here's what I do. I was playing with this. I was messing with this, and I'm like, this is dumb. Which is, I tend to do that. I tend to start designing something, think about a whole bunch of stuff, and really all this is this section right here.
For an Apple computer.
Scaled and squished this way. There. Did it.
There you go.
That was easy.
Nice. Yeah, it basically just looks like a...
Somebody somewhere is supposed to stop me from spending too much time on those kinds of things.
So I was letting you through this operation before I was going to start complaining on behalf of the audience at home.
Thanks, guys.
Nobody there was complaining. Or if they were doing so, they were doing so in a language which I do not speak. So unfortunately, I don't know what they're saying. I'm hoping they're not over here just saying bad things.
All right. Let's check. All right. So now I'm just going to come in here. Just going to grab this piece right here.
Here's one of the things that I am thankful for. And that is Google's detect language feature in the translate. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's good stuff. I
have no idea what language you're speaking, but if I paste it in here, it tells me. This is actually kind of funny. So someone posted in what is, I don't even know how to pronounce this language, Kyrgyz. And so I pasted that in, and it translates in English to bonjour. Bonjour.
I don't want to call
means
Google a liar. But I'm like 70% sure that bonjour is in English.
So my thankfulness might have been a little too premature.
All right, let's keep this going. I'm gonna get the back end on here. So this is the shape I'm looking at, but I'm looking at, this shape is looking at straight on. So it has a fairly severe angle back here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this shape. I'm going to, oops, zoom selection apparently. Make it a group. I'm gonna grab it, drop it right here, rotate it 90 degrees. And then to get that angle, I'm going to just grab this top line and, nope, not the surface, just the line. There we go. I'm just going to slide it backwards along the green axis. There we go. So that is that back hatch section. And put this back into
Tricky has admitted that he does not understand how you can sketch in perspective from ortho images.
Like how personally, or how one could?
Well, I mean, you are one, and you could.
I does.
Yeah.
What would the alternative be to that?
I mean, he knows how to. He just, I don't know. I mean, I'm in the same boat in that I look at it and I'm thinking I would prefer to go to a standard view, do all my tracing of that thing whilst in standard view. Like right now, as you're orbited around looking at that thing at an angle, you look like you're actually on target. But if I did that, I feel like I would be
well,
completely in the wrong space.
Well, sir.
Well, hey, have you saved lately?
Yes. Liar. Okay, so here is my next thing that I got to figure out. So this is where the chunks are going to start to come together. So
chunks, huh?
I got a chunk here, I got a chunk here. We'll call this the cargo hold, and we'll call this the bar of soap. So these two pieces sit together like this. Somehow, oh, maybe that just comes right through to up here. And then it looks like it, okay, so hold up, I may have already just figured it out. So this, as we look at it, all right, so this comes to this point right here. So I could pull this one through, oops, wrong face.
Which of the whales is this that this looks like?
What whale?
It looks like a whale.
I would see. I could see that.
The
all right, so at some point,
pound mammal.
this profile narrows in. There it is. So right about here, just past this door, this shape starts to shrink together. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to draw a line right here. I'm going to come into this piece right here, and I'm going to, at this point, chop this shape up. Like that, go straight down, bring it back over. All right, so now what I can do is grab this, and we'll start doing some scaling. Scale about the middle, so I scale both sides together. Bring that in a little bit. No, I'm just gonna bring it up, not. All right, and I think that gives me more of the shape I want. Yes, yes, yes. I don't want it to go this way though. Whoop. I want this to go whoop, this way. All right, let's hide everything else. Just let me clean up Let me just clean this up real quick. Don't need that.
Okay. Jealous Elephant had a question here. It said, which
Okay.
option in styles is allowing textures to still be seen while you're working inside of a group? Is that a style setting? It's just a group setting, right?
Textures.
Your brain's not in that spot.
Yep.
It's a different place than your brain.
I just heard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wearing my mask.
Okay. What? All right. So I'm gonna move these over here. I'll keep fine tuning that. That is not done, but it is done-ish. We have a shape. I do have to clean up how that all comes together, but this should be pretty. Even if I take that, there, let's see. Okay, I want to get this shape and slap it up on top of here, because this all comes together at the same spot, looks like. So I'm going to draw this line here, and then we're going to go at the middle of that, trace that back to here. And this I only want to do half of, because this is what's going to be a fairly complex shape. And I only want to have to do it once. So if these, I'm going to call them wings. They don't look very aerodynamic, so I don't know that they do a whole lot in the whole idea of, flying and lift and all that kind of stuff. But these wings, I can see where they're faceted. They're cut, 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 cut. So I'm going to do those cuts once and then just grab that middle piece, pull it up. It should give me all the shape I need right there. I know that may have seemed a little confusing, the words I just said, but I'm also just going to model them so they bury themselves back into the engines here. I'm not going to be too concerned about how they tie in. They're just going to die back into that into the engine. So I'm going to run this like that. There we go. So how do I do this? Do this like that. All right, with that, AutoFold's going to do most of my work for me, because I can just grab this piece. I think, this is my theory, is that I could just take this, move it vertically, and we'll get a lot of that geometry. So I'll have a little bit of cleanup to do, but I think a lot of it's going to show up. So this
all I'm really hearing is opportunity to stitch.
Oh, come on. It's not like well, I do enjoy it. Don't say that. Yeah, could be.
It wasn't a judgment. It was an observation.
Yeah, I see that. All right. Soften those two pieces. And there's that initial geometry. It's harder to tell what's going on underneath, but I'll slap this down on here afterwards. So I'm going to grab all of this, make a copy over here, rid of that, flip that, invert it, -1.
Snap.
Plop it right there. All right, so that's the top of the wing section. I do believe, there we go, take that whole thing. It looks like it does have some depth. See that right there? It looks like as this comes along, it has a little bit of depth, maybe narrowing towards the front. So I'm going to go ahead and just push-pull this down a little bit, get that little bit of depth. like that. And then I'm going to make that into a group. Everything here needs to be reversed. And I'll go tie that into the body, and we will start moving some stuff around as needed. All right, so I want to get it centered like that. This piece dies back into this slope right here. So two things can happen now. I might have to change that slope because if I come up, yeah, see that's too much. So I can start by looking at how it starts here. It looks like that full slope is there. It is available. So this actually looks like it maybe even needs to go down to maintain that shape. So that means when I come over here, this is actually going to have to go up more. Like that. There we go. So you have that dying back into that shape. All right. You know what? I'm going to save, turn off my hinge geometry, and take a sip of coffee. I'm celebrating this.
Step back and revel in your success so far. So since we're taking a break here, I'm curious how the Jawas managed to completely dismantle this ship. I mean, that thing was a skeleton.
Well, all it took was like a 30-second montage for him and Nick Nolte to put it all back together too.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's always helpful to have Nick Nolte on hand for such things.
Yeah, but he wouldn't sign on to the crew. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Just wouldn't do it.
I don't blame him. And look where that got him.
Yeah, that didn't.
I'm not going to say because it's a spoiler.
That's right. All right. Now, I'm gonna come in here.
I do see that your chess timer's back, so that's good. You've been playing a little chess with family.
It was there. It was just behind some beverages before. Okay. Back on the back end, we got this thing going on. So what I think I'm going to do is, it looks like I got kind of a shape like that. Sure how that happened. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to model half of it, flip it over, and then grab that shape, make it a group, and then bring it. I keep hitting Option. I'm used to like copying things. I don't have to copy things. I can just bring them. Just bring it. Bring it. Like that. And from that, we'll go here. I guess I should ask. I feel, ooh, look at that. That is pretty close to like,
wow.
Dadgum. All right.
Sometimes it looks like you know what you're doing, right?
I don't like to let that out because I don't want to, create unreasonable expectations. But yeah, occasionally.
Sometimes it looks like.
Occasionally, I forget that I have no idea what's going on. All right, so I'm going to use those points to tie this all up and match.
So I'm not trying to talk smack about the Razor Crest here, but I definitely was a bigger fan of the Slave One.
Slave One's hard to beat. You know the thing I liked most about the Slave One was it was so not like a spaceship. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just such a weird shape, you know? Everything about it was like, I guess you don't really need aerodynamics in space. I guess that's the thing, right? Is you're not built
Right, but
to go
so
in air, but
and before these more recent episodes, last three, there weren't a whole lot of cases where you got to see spaceships ever in atmosphere. But
that's true.
then, all of a sudden, Poe Dameron's flying an X-wing around, and that thing is it's not designed for aerodynamics. To watch him pivoting and banking, doing all this crazy stuff with an X-wing, just doesn't just didn't add up. I can see it in space, but
Yeah.
talk about gravity in space.
That's valid.
Or the Death Stars, not the Death Star, the Star Destroyers. Why were they called Star Destroyers? They didn't destroy stars.
All
They
right.
weren't that big.
Here's the thing. We've crossed the threshold. We're in official geek territory at this point, right? So I can go here.
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, you have my permission.
All right. Here's my question for all you folks. I think we can agree that Star Wars happened in space where the stars are, right? Yet, did you ever notice how even in space, gravity kept showing up? Like, anytime you kill a Star Destroyer, what does it do? It goes like this. Whatever direction it's pointing, it tips over and starts going this way. So if you're in
Like,
atmosphere, upper atmosphere, I get it. Maybe there's a little gravitational pull, but straight up space, oh no, they took out our engines. Wait a minute.
Down we go.
I don't know. I don't get where that comes from.
Well, I mean, have you ever been to space?
Not yet. What's that black thing? My screen. I don't know why that's happening. That's odd. Anyhow, no. I as of now have not been to space.
Okay, so you don't know then, basically.
That's true.
You're
I'm going
basically just
off.
working with
That's right. Yeah, I'm going off of
Okay.
what I've heard. The other thing that got me though, gravitationally speaking, I think the problem is I started reading and watching The Expanse, and that caused me to question
all
all
the little
sci-fi.
things.
Because so one of the things in The Expanse that they talk about is thrust gravity, right? So their ships are built like towers where the decks are flat like this, and then when the engine pushes like this, it creates artificial gravity. All Star Wars ships are made like battleships or sea ships and go this way. They go forward, but somehow all the gravity pulls people down. Just observing. I'm not saying.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Kai has another one, which I don't remember. If I think this has come up in a discussion, but I don't know if I can ever lay claim to it. Is on Tatooine, there's two suns, but there's only ever one shadow, right? I've got if I set up two lights in my shop, I've got two shadows, maybe of varying darkness, but
That is
going on?
another valid point.
And he said grav plating. Oh, I can see that. Maybe if there's some sort of like element that they make they have like the bottom plate of their ships somehow creates its own gravity. Maybe it's really heavy. Who knew?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I'm trying to think. There's Chewbacca ran
we
around
had-
on these ships, right? And his hair wasn't. Wouldn't he be like a big puffball? Wouldn't he look like a big, like he's made of
Yeah.
cotton balls if there is no gravity, right? His hair would all stick out, right?
That's how it should be. Yes.
Now I want to see that.
Yeah, that is an image that needs to happen.
Okay, I know. It's all about suspension of disbelief. But I guess the issue is when you put the name science into something, then
Yeah. You want it to
what
have
you're expected to
scientific
deliver.
backing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what can you do? Oh, the force replaces gravity in space. Boom. Nailed it. It was the force.
Yeah, I guess the Jedi's got the excuse for everything. They just
Yeah.
call it the Force.
Thanks, Mr. Elephant. That is would be the elephant in the room. Is we're acknowledging or ignoring the fact that there is a, a force which ties the universe together, and it's not duct tape.
Hmm. I guess I'll let that go because I like Star Wars. No,
Right.
I'm by no means upset with any of it. I know some people get worked up about some of those things, and I really don't. But every once in a while, I'm like, wait, really? Just every once in a while, I
Yeah.
have a hard time with it.
It's always good natured whenever I'm offended by a Star Wars thing, except for midichlorians. I am grievously, pardon the pun, bothered by that one. But otherwise, most Star Wars stuff, it's fun. I do want to. I'm always curious. This is I suppose a good topic starter. Is I have one friend that is a Han Solo type. Like that's the character that he enjoys, and I always liked Luke Skywalker more. And I realize that it's really more about space wizards. I always want to be a space wizard. I don't want to be a smuggler. But so
See,
there's some people that they have different things that they enjoy about it, which is weird
I
because everybody
I
should be a space wizard.
I gotta agree with your friend. I always thought Han was my guy. I always just swashbuckling and you know.
Well, you know this guy. It's Tyson. Tyson's all about friggin' Han Solo, not about Luke.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that like I get what he's saying. Like I always thought it was just kind of cool to have like to be able to. I don't know. I guess space wizardry was just too much for me. I never bought into it. Maybe I don't know. Actually, the thing was, I was talking to my son about this. I'm like, in the original trilogy, it was this unknown thing, the Force, lightsabers, and it was cool. And then the new trilogy came along, and all of a sudden, there was this like infrastructure, and all these rules, and it's basically a monkhood, and I struggled with that, I think.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you and Tyson, I will make a point of never getting in this conversation with both of you at the same time because you'll just team up against me.
It's not bad. I mean, I get it. It's cool. Whatever. You can be
Whatever.
wrong, Jody. It's all right.
Ugh. No.
Uh, uh,
Why is that? Oh, you named it Ref. Okay. Thought there's something weird going on there. All right, this part's looking good.
I'm thinking. That's how far I'll go right now. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I feel like engines, this kind of geometry, this kind of thing. I'm like, oh, let's just hang out here. Let's just add details to this. But this is good enough right now. All right, let's make this a component.
Especially based on the
yeah
complexity of everything else.
We got things to do, Dietzen. Get to work. Yes, sir.
Whip crack.
All right, now I got to figure out where this thing goes. Also, what's this?
What
this goes like the whole length of the. Okay.
Is
okay,
it part
okay.
of the engine, or is it the
like
bottom of the
this.
wing? Back at the beginning of that little tangent we went off on, Andy did point out you need aerodynamics to get into space. But I think, like, have you ever watched whenever, like, after a seafaring ship has been built and they cart it out there on some big wheels and slide it in sideways into the water and it creates this huge splash, and maybe there's like a space trebuchet that they use to fling spaceships out of gravity.
Well, see, therein is a whole nother issue, right? Because I think there's probably a case to be made that a lot of these ships are probably made in space or in, high orbit. They're all put together and they probably can't land.
But at some point,
I always had issue with the Enterprise for that reason because I'm like, that thing can't stand up and
Wait, so but some of the Star Destroyers actually came into the atmosphere in the ninth movie, right?
Right, and that's
Sorry,
what ruined that for me.
but they didn't land. I guess.
That's true.
I guess that's something. At some point they did start to go down towards gravity. Uh, Alejandro's wondering if where he could buy a Trimble cap. Are you wearing a Trimble cap today?
I am.
I didn't even remember.
It has become my standard hide the hair tool. It is a work tool.
I don't think we have a swag thing. We should totally
No, this wasn't
have a.
This wasn't
a
even
Christmas
from our
present.
group. This was a I was working a trade show, and one of the other groups, one of the other SketchUp crew somewhere was they had these. I don't know where, I can't even remember what group it was.
There's a lot of groups. I always, after we got acquired from Google, I always told people that Trimble was the biggest company I had never heard of.
It's amazing how big Trimble is.
Yeah. So Colin, who's not really supposed to be questioning things, he's just supposed to accept it, wants to know why you carefully rotate to 90 instead of typing 90 and hitting enter.
This is one of the repercussions of my 3D mouse, because this hand's over here, and to type 90, I'd have to come over like this.
There you go.
That's why Colin.
Nice. Nice.
Just kidding, Colin.
But also, we just educated the world as to why you shouldn't be using a 3D mouse.
Ooh,
Keeps you from being able to type stuff. Boom.
That could be a thing. All right. Talk about right.
He says he knew the answer already.
Oh. Really? I didn't know what I was talking about. Nope, this goes up higher.
So the Enterprise from the different space franchise could actually end on planets too. That was another one of those gigantic things that just does not look like.
Yeah, see, that's the one that I was
really
like, I don't buy that. I don't. I did not believe that happened.
That it actually landed.
Well, I mean, I saw it happen, but I'm like, I don't buy
Oh, yeah,
into
no.
what has to happen for that to be a thing, for that to really happen. That's what I'm saying.
I get you. I was never as hardcore a fan of Star Trek as I was Star Wars. Obviously, it's like the whole Elvis versus Beatles debate. But
yeah, no, I was the same way. I always thought but the thing was, there was so much more. At least growing up, well, probably still, there was so much more Star Trek to be had than what you could get for Star Wars. Like Star Wars,
yeah,
you had a couple movies and maybe a, frankly, kind of crappy cartoon every once in a while, but Star Trek, just series after series.
Yeah, it was. Star Wars was obviously early on was there for kids as much as grown-ups. Star Trek was never really for kids.
Right. It goes higher. They go higher on the wing. Oh. Cool. All right, I'm going to make a mirror in flag, and I'm going to option mirror over there. That was Keurig mirror, in case anybody was wondering. It's getting there. This is getting closer. I was to make a group of all that. Let's go compare it to some of our drawings. Flip to 90 degrees. Plus, the other thing I should point out, Colin's asking about that. I do have angle snapping on. So I have turned off, if I go into, oops, not there, I'm sorry, model info, and I go to units, I have length snapping turned off, but I did keep enable angle snapping turned on. So hitting 90 degrees is pretty easy because it does snap there most of the time. So that's one of the reasons I'm not really missing that too much. All right, I do have these pieces right here, which are confusing me a little bit. It looks like I can probably just take this shape and then flesh it out with this geometry over here. So maybe I'll do that.
So these little slightly not flat spots.
I don't know. I'm making executive decisions in the design every once in a while.
It's like they didn't have straight edges in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
They're not really curves. They're just kind of not quite
sketched.
straight.
Everything is sketched. They sketched everything.
Commit. Come on, man. I tell you. Anyhow, so I had a thought recently.
Oh no.
Yeah. Brace yourself. No, I was so I was doing this or not part of SketchUp, but on my personal channel doing this challenge, a group or a account put this thing out there called the May for Makers thing, which I know you've seen, Jody. We've talked about it, where you post every day about something about makerness. One of the things they asked about was how do you learn? And that was an interesting question for me. I thought it would be an interesting topic of conversation because, you know, we're here. Somebody somewhere is kind of learning something right now.
How, like, kinesthetic versus visual versus...
Well, I don't even know if it was that specific. I think the idea was just like, how do you as a person learn? Like, what do you do to learn something? And I kind of brought it together with the question of, you know, what are people doing during this time where we're all locked together or locked up separately together? Like, what's everybody doing to broaden their abilities, or are you learning new things as we're all stuck here?
What is your method, or what is your resource?
All of the above.
Like,
anybody got any good
Skillshare, you could masterclass. There's all kinds of online resources at this point.
You know, and that is a really cool thing that I think is so cool, is there are so many options. Like, I was thinking about that. So as I was diving into this, because I'm going, okay, how do I learn? What do I do to learn? How do and I'll be totally honest with y'all. I'll bare my soul right now. I was never a straight A student. I was not a huge fan of traditional learning methods. They being, you know, like, study this book and then come in and take a test on it. Listen to your teacher talk about something for an hour, 3 days a week, and on the fourth day there's gonna be a test. Like, I was never good at that. I was just not how my brain functioned. Which I think is why things like art class or shop class really appealed to me, because I think I've always been kind of a hands-on learner instead. And I think that's why things like 3D design took off for me, because I could get in and I could use it. And I've always been that way with software. If I go to learn a new software package, the best thing for me to do is grab it, sit down with it, and use it for a little while, and then come up with questions and kind of work from there. But it's pretty cool to look. Nowadays, you go on YouTube and you can learn to do just about anything. You can go to Skillshare, Lynda. There's all these learning platforms. What a cool time to, like, get into learning new things.
Yeah, no, so we've made this argument several times with, like, how our kids are learning, and there's all these jobs that do not exist today. They're going to be the options my kids have when they're, you know, actually looking at having a career. and it's fascinating to me that we don't even know what they're going to need to know in the future. I think
Right.
my biggest problem I have with learning right now is not knowing what I don't know. Like I need a project and I need to go and make mistakes in that project before I actually get to learn stuff from it. So like sitting down with software doesn't work. Like my problem with just sitting down to learn SketchUp is I need to have a thing that I need to do in SketchUp. I need to have a thing that I want to do uh, with hand tools. I need to have a thing to actually screw up.
That's fair.
That's my trick. I'm really good at screwing up, and the trick is making sure I actually remember why it's screwed up.
That's so I guess I want to throw that out there. I mean, like, how do you guys? What's the best thing you guys have come up and don't say the SketchUp website or anything like that. Just
Also, so Kai's perspective, he said he learned by what does this button do? You know, getting in there and actually starting to do stuff and just kind of grabbing a tool, starting to use it.
that's
And then
awesome.
now that he knows that, which I think comes sort of to what I was just saying, which is once I know what something is, then I can at least ask the question of, well, so what am I going to do with that?
I like it. This looks like it does come
But
up a lot more.
I think this is a good way is watching videos like this, seeing people do something that I might do probably in a different way than I do it. Because yeah, I like Big J Gordon just said it's uh, YouTube is huge for him, and that's where I end up. Like, there's all these sites I can sign up for, but I don't. You know, I did my month of Skillshare, I did my month of all these different learning things, and then I'm just like watching someone just talk at me how to do it. Doesn't always it doesn't resonate for me.
Yeah,
Like doing a search on YouTube for how to tune your bandsaw. It's very straightforward and very focused on the exact thing I'm trying to do.
that's fair. I mean, I was trying to think of like, man, I don't remember what did I do to learn before YouTube. Like, I was thinking about car stuff. I'm not what I would call a car guy, but I do try to do whenever possible. I try to do my own work on my car. Uh, Usually because something's broken and I'm too cheap to fix it. But
Mhm.
how did I do that before YouTube? Like, I guess I went and bought a Chilton's book or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Try to
I've
break
got
down how
several
to work.
Chilton's books sitting around and somewhere.
Because I'm like, oh man, nothing's coming out of the hose when I hit the washer fluid thing. Well, better hit YouTube, and that's it. That's like my answer for everything.
Well, and anymore, I mean, you just type in the specific model of your whatever thing you're working on, and it's got a video specific to that thing. It's not even
It's
just a in theory or the idea behind your washer fluid, also known
right.
as the P man.
Is that the technical term?
It is. I mean, I just looked it up.
Okay. Don't check. I checked for you. We're fine. All right. All right. So I'm feeling good about my basic shape here. I feel like I got a pretty good setup right now. I guess I should throw these cannons. They're called cannons. They don't use the term gun anywhere in Star
It,
Wars.
it's
They have
it's funny.
blasters
It's
and
like
cannons.
just yesterday, I was thinking about that. Like Han calling things blaster. I think I had some mental reference to hokey religions versus blasters. And I'm like, wait, guns were all just blasters there.
Yeah, I
Which
think
is, yeah, it was the first time I think I'd realized that. And now it's come up again, twice in as many days. Okay, so there's some pretty legit answers in your podcasts. I've been I
mm-hmm.
tend to I use podcasts conceptually. I usually take notes from a podcast that then I'll use and I'll go somewhere else to dig further into understanding it. Podcasts are sort of like you and me talking about a thing, and then we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about a space mouse, and then I'll go somewhere else to learn how to use a space mouse.
I think podcasts are awesome casual learning. That would be the term. Like I'm not actively looking for information, but this is a great way to like a topic I want to know about and kind of absorb at my own rate.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel I use them. I don't ever sit down like, all right, I'm gonna listen to this and take some notes, and when I'm done, I'm gonna know how to do a thing. That's never been
Yeah, I was
the
always a
case.
horrible note taker.
Yeah, that's never changed. I, I don't know if you guys do this. This is me taking notes, and I've actually apologized to people I've been in meetings with. I'm like, it's not that I don't care. I do care very much, but if I start taking notes, I stop listening. Like I can't write and talk
Yep.
and listen at the same time. So like I'll be like, okay, wait, what? And lose it all. So I'm just so bad at that, which that goes probably back to something about my learning style, but yeah, I can't.
Well, and that's further to the whole YouTube is kind of the ultimate learning resource for me. Is I can pause it, I can
That's true.
rewind it.
So the cannons look like they got these things around each side of this. And this actually is kind of a.
So one of these drawings, they call it a gun, but I don't think that's fair because
I don't think
drawings are not.
that's
They're
not
not official.
canon.
Yeah, cannon. It's not a gun. It's a cannon.
The
It's not
cannon's
a cannon. It's a blaster.
gun's not canon, but cannon's canon. See what I did there? You paying attention?
I got it. I got it. I'm hearing.
Really hoping for more response than that. I thought that was pretty good. All right, I'm gonna soften this.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the word gun in any of this stuff.
Okay, I'll let that go then. All right, it looks like it does kind of like cut back here, so I'm gonna do that. I'm looking for simple spots I can modify geometry. To add detail without having to do like huge pieces. I'm gonna make that a group. Let's go ahead and turn off reference. And all right, so I think what I want to do is it's quartered, so there look like there's 4 of these pieces sticking out. So whatever I do, I want to fit inside of here. 1, 2, 3.
Jim was asking you to explain the extrude technique you were doing, and I was typing and I didn't see what you were doing. Were you doing some with the scale tool to?
Oh no, right here. All I did was I had a stacked cylinder like this, and I just grabbed part of it and moved it along the axes to create a cone shape. Axis. Well, if I make it a component, then I could say axes, right? Because there's potentially more of them.
But you're only moving it along one axis.
I know, trying.
If you're moving along red and green at the same time, then you would say the red and green axes.
So many rules about the English language.
I know. It's fun. I love it. Or I mean, I'm sorry. Oh. Ooh. So Lawrence is now throwing out the jokes. So apparently it's about that time.
Uh-oh.
So what kind of car does a Jedi drive?
Hold on, I'm thinking through the Force words. Oh, no.
A toy Yoda.
All right. I'll give you half credit for that
Which
one.
website did Chewbacca create to share Empire secrets? And I feel like that one, he might not know that there's more. There's a bigger thing there. So he says WikiLeaks, but the actual place to go and get all of your various Star Wars canon is Wikipedia. So that one's already been done in an official, well, semi-official, or
officialish,
at least established capacity. Officialish. That sounds like Dr. Seuss.
Actually,
speaking of Dr. Seuss, did we have this conversation about the guy that is wrapping
Yes.
Dr. Seuss books?
Worth checking out if you have not seen it.
It's pretty impressive. And the guy is just the nerdiest white guy you could possibly have doing such a thing.
The thumbnail made me think it was like sarcastic, like it was a joke.
Oh, yeah. No, he's like, wearing a Christmas sweater or something through the whole thing. It's all super nerd.
White and nerdy. All right. Oh, last piece. This part's kind of cool. There's like this little plating piece on the side, so that's fun. It's vertical here and then angles in. Okay.
I'd say that as far as ways to having projects to do or ways to learn, this is definitely a great one where you're having to engage your brain to figure out how big this fictional piece is going to be, what angles to do, like looking at all your different reference photos, like the Wednesday projects when we do the machine building. That is an awesome way for learning SketchUp, in my opinion.
I think that is, and I mean that was intentional. That's the reason we picked those. But yeah, having something where something's right and wrong, that definitely helps. So, because you can go in and just start modeling a thing. And that's great. You get used to the tools, but figuring out how to learn to precisely model is very important also.
It also helps that those little projects prove that you can be as precise or as loose as you want with SketchUp.
True.
Here's a question for the crowd. So I've heard people refer to or heard references from people say that they didn't like SketchUp because it was too much like a toy, or people were talking smack about SketchUp to them, saying it was too much like a toy. It was something about it was not as professional feeling as, say, AutoCAD or whatever the professional version of an alternative SketchUp is. So I'm wondering how many people out there have encountered this sort of SketchUp bias where they think that it's either not precise enough or it's not or it's just not professional enough. I don't know what professional means in this case. So I need to hear someone's thoughts on that.
Yeah, I've always wondered that too, because I did use SketchUp for professional work. I mean, that was how I got into it. So I always kind of wondered. I think. All right, I'm gonna say some things now.
Okay.
I kind of wonder if part of it's not. Wait, which way's front? Scale that's -1. Is part of that just like, I don't know. Does professional mean like clunky? Is professional big? And I mean, seriously, like, do people look at it and go, well, no, to be professional, you have to like go slower than that. To be professional, you have to, I don't know.
There can't be any element of playfulness, because I'll be the first to admit that a lot of stuff in SketchUp feels really, really playful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the comments. Where'd it go? It scrolled up really, really fast past there. Oh yeah, Kai said that he had heard people say it makes bad models because sometimes people make models with it and they're not necessarily good for reference. But yeah, I guess
that's like saying a pencil makes a bad line.
Yeah.
Or I don't use rulers because they're not precise enough for me. I mean, I've heard that too about many different softwares. And I don't, having been in software for years and years and years, more than I want to talk about, I agree. That is one of the problems, is a lot of people are ready to blame tools for the quality of work they themselves do. All right, I got an issue here.
I'm always
This needs to angle.
Which angle? Dang it. It's got to be precise.
This one. So this should come out.
Yeah, I feel like it's obviously ignorance whenever people say SketchUp can't do this or can't do that.
Right.
Like even watching like this project here, you can do so much with it. It gives you sort of the freedom that say Maya or like a NURBS modeler has. You can be creative. You can't do organic shapes quite as easily, but that's definitely changed in the years since I started using SketchUp. But
sure.
So it's interesting that there is, it's wholly just ignorance on what to expect. Because if you get somebody that wants to take the time to learn it, you can do quite a bit.
Well, and I think
you could even say the same for the web version versus the desktop version now.
Well, I think that was actually one of the things I personally liked about SketchUp is that after using some of the bigger software packages out there for residential design, building houses or designing houses, I liked that I came into a tool where I could do what I wanted to do. It didn't say, well, you can't draw a roof like that because the roof tool works like this and draws this thing like this. Like that, this is your option. And the fact that with SketchUp, I could go in and go, well, I want a roof that looks like this. That's what I wanted out of a design tool.
And I think I've from the design team for SketchUp, even I've heard, you hear the cases of it happens inside of even just inside the SketchUp community is people want a tool that does this. They want a mirror tool, or they want this or that. They want these single purpose tools. And so many of the best SketchUp tools, in my opinion, are the ones that you could do this or you could do that. The versatility of any given tool is what really makes them spectacular.
Yeah.
Did you make those cannons into components?
I did. Oh, okay. Somewhere. There's a component in there somewhere. I don't think I did.
Some part of them is.
Yeah, I didn't do that right.
Yeah, it would be so. I guess that's a interesting because several people in the comments are in the chat are expressing that they use it alongside, say, Blender or other stuff. And I've seen cases where people are saying Blender's better than SketchUp, which I'm not going to get into that, but it makes me wonder, like, what makes Blender better in some of these cases? Like, if we had better texture mapping, would SketchUp be a better competitor to Blender?
Well, and I think sometimes, so when I hear, everybody is, of course, more than welcome to their opinion, right? You believe, like what you like, and I'm never going to say that you're wrong, because there's a reason there's multiple options out there, right? But what I have a hard time with is people saying, well, it's just better because that's what I learned. That's fine. I prefer it. Cool. That's perfectly fine.
You can use the I prefer it all day long. I definitely will never begrudge someone their preference.
Right. I'm just running through here and exploding my separate pieces, intersecting them together. Actually, I could have done this separate. I didn't. I could have just used solid tools to make those two because I think they were both solid. But just selecting it all, intersecting with selection, and then running solid tools to clean up inside. So that's solid. Is this solid? Why is this not solid? Now it's solid. So what I could do here is just outer shell this thing. Boom. I wasn't 100% sure on my placement of my engine, so I didn't want to join those yet, but this is coming along. For an hour and a half in,
look like something.
I'm feeling pretty good about this.
So, yeah, we don't have to put landing gear on it unless you really want to, but maybe you flesh out the turbines or...
Yeah, we could do a little more detail here. I wanted to carve some windows in here because that's cool.
Yeah. How are you supposed to see out of that thing?
Yeah. All right, so let's see, up top, these go in a line. I'm gonna do this.
So, okay, so Kai just said he loves SketchUp for its speed and it'll always be part of his toolkit. And I think that word right there, toolkit, is probably something that is way underutilized. People in this day and age, everything is a something killer, which is
Oh yeah, I hate
which
that
is frustrating
terminology.
to me. I don't understand why anything has to ruin anything else. I mean,
Yeah, we have a
there's
definite
a lot of people.
competitive nature, I think. Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, and I think that's kind of a human thing for sure.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I get
it. Dave uploaded a picture of the interior if you want to work on the interior.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna let that go, Dave. That was good. That was good though. I'm just making some blocks right here. Keep my workspace clean. All right. And then...
Tricky2K is using Design Spark. Have you heard of that?
No. What's that about?
It imports skip files. I don't know past that. He said he's just started using it.
Sounds like they're getting something right.
Let's look and see what a quick internet search says.
Use the Google.
Design Spark Mechanical is a free CAD modeling software. Solid modeling software.
Ooh.
It has kind of a sketchy look to it. Other than the toolbars. The toolbars definitely look like it's CAD package. If you know what I mean.
I think I got you. Yeah. All right. So
it looks pretty neat. I can see how it could work with the SketchUp. The company that makes it, Solid Smack. Or at least solidsmack.com. Oh wait, that's who's reviewing it. Solidsmack.com. I've never heard of this site, but it's a fun name.
I like that.
It's good to like things.
I like liking things. Liking things is way better than disliking them, I just gotta say.
It's one of my favorite things to do is like things. Ah, dang it. Stupid restream crashed. Did somebody say something complicated? Made my software crash?
That's why I like some other software better. Just kidding.
I like software that doesn't crash. I mean, I think that's fair. I do like
fair.
software that doesn't crash
I do too,
more than crashy software.
All right, so there's my top windows, but I don't quite, so they come like that. It's kind of narrow. I was wondering if I could use this. No, that's too, it's thinner than that. Go draw a line like that, and then hey, that looks like that could be about right. Awesome. I like that. Cool. And the other thing I was wondering about is if I look at my hidden, I'm wondering if there's a way to leverage hidden geometry to get some of these pieces in here, because it looks like that comes down. Looks like I can leverage this right here. Actually, that makes it look like this needs to go a little further back, though. Ah, crap, I already merged it.
Oh, dang it. Nice. Nice.
See what you done did there? All right. So.
Just undo. Just kind of just hit it until everything's good again.
Oh, that would hurt. Fortunately, I can snap this back pretty easy. I'm gonna have to stitch this back together once I cut it off, though. Oops.
Well, it gives you something to do for several minutes, I guess.
Yeah, this isn't gonna take very long. But okay, so this is a fun thing. I'm gonna have to patch. See this arc right here? I'm gonna have to patch that. So if I grab this, I'm just curious how, I'm not really. You know, I think I've made a point in the past to say things like, this would be a great place to make a copy.
Save? Have you saved?
Yeah, I guess I should do that too. Oh, actually, this.
Never a bad. Pivot.
All right, grab it by this point right here. Spin it around. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. I'm kind of playing right now. Yeah, that works. That looks close, but nah, that's not right. I'm not quite sure how to patch that now that I've made this mess.
How to undo what you done did.
That's right. I still got some ideas, but trying to think what the easiest thing's gonna do. So I think if I grab these pieces right here, sometimes I like to make a problem for myself just so I can learn something. Did
Nice.
anyone
See?
buy that? There's learning.
Coming back to our previous learning conversation about
right.
how sometimes you have to break a few eggs to scramble them into scrambled eggs. I think
To make a spaceship.
Yeah. To make a spaceship.
That's how it works. No, but this is actually kind of a cool opportunity, because I think what I can do. So there, got those. Same thing going on both sides. I think what I can do is if I take this section right here, if I take that, I'm going to make it a group, go into that group, and I think, let's see, how would this work? That should work. So if I take that and I extend that line down like a lot, and then I grab this one right here and I extend that down by this line a lot also, they will eventually. Nope, that was parallel. That stayed parallel. Or it didn't go far enough. Wow, that's a long line. So if I go...
How long is a piece of line?
Super long. There we go.
3.4 miles.
That line.
Kai knows.
Extend that. Now, I think what I can do is I can grab all of this geometry, rotate it on the green axes, from here, axis to here, I don't know, 12 times, 14 times, 20 times.
Just keep doing it. At some point, it will be a wheel. Whoa.
No, it didn't work.
Hmm.
Oh, you know why? Because this is not a normal arc. All right. I'm done playing.
It's an abnormal arc. Gotcha.
It was yeah, I did that. That's me. Okay, anyhow, we'll get this cleaned up enough so I can actually finish doing what I was doing.
Yeah, it feels like you're It feels like we've gone back. We've everything seemed so well done, and then now it does not seem so well done.
Aaron, then Aaron started poking at stuff, and then we ended up stitching.
If you pick at that, it'll never heal.
That's true. Let's see what I can get this down to. Okay, so I wonder if I could just. I almost said frock. See if I can frock this together. Loft that. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what's happening.
I can't believe you're using such words on YouTube. This is a family channel.
Nope, this is not marked as appropriate or aimed at children. Very important.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Are you going to try and project the texture onto this thing at the end of the... If you can stop messing around, frocking around with this thing?
Odds are against it.
All right. Well, I guess it's something. At some point, I have to turn off hidden geometry because I see stuff like that, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is like evidence of my crime." And I don't want to. All
right, so I'm gonna frock this real quick. Where did frock even come from? How? It doesn't even sound like loft. I guess they both have O's and F's.
I don't know. Oh, so here's a good bit of nerdery. If we're gonna try and geek out. I don't know if you're much of a sci-fi reader. Are you familiar with the word grok?
I do. To understand Robert Heinlein, Stranger in a Strange Land.
So that's one of those that like it managed to jump into the real world. Like periodically I'll drop grok and people are just like, yes, I know exactly what that means. I get that reference.
Yeah, that's a.
It's a fun word. Or frack would be a
Battlestar Galactica.
A swear word. Yeah, right. It's a swear word.
That's never something I've never actually gotten into that. Battlestar Galactica.
I didn't watch the original. Yeah, I don't remember if we've had this conversation or if I had it elsewhere with someone else about different things. But in the olden times, I was a Buck Rogers fan, not a Battlestar fan. More recently, I have watched Battlestar and enjoyed it.
I do remember Buck Rogers.
I always like that. Twiggy.
Yeah, a little.
Okay, here's a whole bunch of weird words coming in here.
What else we got?
I don't know if Kai said smeg. I'm not quite sure where to go that one. Christopher Ryan says Shazbot. What's that from? Is that from?
That's very familiar. Shazbot. That's not like what's the term I'm looking for? 43.
43? You mean 42? Like something out of Hitchhiker's Guide?
Hitchhiker's Guide. I don't think it is. I don't think that. I think it's a little. It's.
Yeah, if you're gonna drop words, you gotta step up and tell us where they came from. Oh, that's right. Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. There we go.
And Smeg is from Red Dwarf, which I have never watched any of. So
I've seen a little bit of that.
Cultural thing. I'm an American, and it was not really ever an American show, right?
It was
on.
I
had to seek it out.
We had it on on PBS or something like that.
Really? I never saw it. Yeah, Frack is definitely. I know that it's Battlestar because that's what I watched, and I don't know Smeg or Smog because I don't know Red Dwarf. Can't think of. Are there any really good words from the whole Doctor Who osphere? How many words made it into regular usage? Yeah, I think I drop a lot of quotes from things that are obscure and completely missed. Like whenever I made a reference to the Aluminum Falcon the other day, which is just from what's that show on Comedy Central?
Robot Chicken or something?
Yeah, Robot Chicken. I got that from a Robot Chicken skit. And at this point, I say it and people don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. And I'm just like, well, I can't explain all my things.
That's fair. I mean, we're all humans made up of parts of ourselves, right?
Mostly fluid, mostly water. I believe that
Yeah.
was a reference from, that might have been a Doctor Who reference.
I was just going to use a Simpsons reference. What's on the inside? Guts and black stuff.
In black stuff. I don't, I
Nelson
don't,
Muntz reference.
I don't think I heard the black stuff. I don't think I've heard him make a black stuff comment.
What's inside you? Oh, guts, black stuff.
Now I'm curious what the black stuff is.
I don't know. He's a what
Everybody's
third grader or something.
everybody's just saying nanu nanu in the comments. So apparently, first of all,
We've covered that one,
I
right?
feel
I mean,
like I feel like more often than not, the crowd here, the watching at home, they tend to date themselves well beyond the proper millennial. You know, but so it's millennials on the internet, but everybody watching SketchUp show apparently is old like me, or maybe they're just they like old stuff like me.
Ugly Bags of Mostly Water apparently was a Star Trek reference.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, maybe so. Okay, all right, all right. Hmm. Yeah, why doesn't the universal translator on Star Trek didn't translate swear words? This is coming back to my Google Translate experience earlier, where Russian word got turned into a French word in English.
I don't know. I just some answers we just won't ever get to have. I guess this is really.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Sometimes, I believe it was the Dread Pirate Wesley that said, "Get used to disappointment."
No one would surrender to the Dread Pirate Wesley.
I will step right up and say it's probably one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time, and
We're trying to.
it gets referenced often.
That's such a good. I mean, it just definitely has a lot of good, fun, quotable lines.
Okay, so I think I heard recently. Nah, I think it's fake news though. It's got to be fake news. They were going to try and reboot that.
I've heard something about that as well. I don't know if anybody saw Deadpool made light of that with the PG-13 release of Deadpool.
They're making light of Princess Bride?
Yeah, because Deadpool actually kidnaps Fred Savage and has Fred Savage tied to or duct taped to the bed from that
I hadn't
scene.
seen the PG-13 version. Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend steering clear. It was far more offensive than the R-rated version.
for a different reason. So.
Oh man, it was like I know they're trying to, it was playing with the whole Disney family friendliness, but man, they made it so very, very offensive. So yeah, I enjoyed Deadpool. The PG-13 one, not so much.
Okay, well, I won't bother watching that one then. Oh, yeah, a lot of great lines. Okay, so I went and looked to see if this was fake news, because this is all like last September when it came up. And the most important takeaway from what I'm seeing here are all of the great references to the original movie, like rumor of the Princess Bride remake sends fans into a pit of despair. Or nice. Carrie Elwes sums up the reaction: "There's a shortage of perfect movies in the world. It would be a pity to damage this one." Which I'll take both of those and run with them, I think.
Oh, that was such a good movie.
It was such a good movie. Yeah, I'm constantly referencing the how they're using different wind than we are using, as people gain on me.
Maybe they're using different wind. All right.
Lawrence is just dropping references to the Iliad, I guess. I don't know. He's mentioning Homer.
I so I don't what is there 31 seasons of The Simpsons or something like that? Uh,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
we didn't really watch The Simpsons for a long time there because we had younger kids and The Simpsons. I see The Simpsons going like this, right? Where they good season, and then it kind of gets kind of weird, and they get a little bit base with their humor and insulting, and then they'll come back and they'll be great. And it kind of does this porpoising thing, in my opinion. And for years there, we weren't really watching it because we had younger kids, and our kids got a little older, and they're teenager age now. We started watching again. I'm like, man, you get the right season, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. Just comedy gold. And I will say
Gold,
that
Jerry.
that Homer Simpson is just what a what a horrible human being. He's just there's nothing like validating about that. Like if he was a real person, you would do everything in your power to just steer clear.
But at least it's not malicious.
That's true. I mean, I don't think he's done a whole lot with the intention of being well, unless you're talking about Flanders. But
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Or Bart. I mean, there was definitely in earlier seasons, he was definitely considerably more abusive towards that little
yeah,
spiky-haired kid.
throttling your child in front of a police officer or a judge. That's
Yeah.
I heard that's not good parenting.
You know, what are you going to do? What can
Probably
you do?
not throttle my kid.
Yeah, speaking of kids and too young, we watched Bob's Burgers, which more often than not is not appropriate for my kids, but there are people with kids that are the same age as my kids or slightly younger, so it should be okay for my kids, right?
I don't know
Right?
that logic has ever worked for me.
Oh. Hmm.
Well, so and so said it's okay. That doesn't work.
The main character's only 12. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't work either.
That's something.
Yeah. All right, so just tracing out the door. At this point, I've more taken to listening to the conversations that are going on and just trying to stay out of everybody's way as I do a little bit of modeling here. So please excuse me if I
Talk amongst yourselves.
That's right. I don't want to interrupt. So sorry to interrupt.
As I'm looking at all these Homer quotes that Lawrence dropped in the comments, I'm realizing that quite often Homer was basically Yogi Berra. Like he would take a thing and completely misinterpret it.
Yeah, that's about right. What the heck?
Okay, so here's a quote for you, in case you might not be able to read it. It says, "It's so simple to be wise. Just think of something stupid to say and then don't say it." Which again, that could be Homer, that could be Yogi Berra, or that could just be Lawrence dropping his own wisdom right there.
You know what that reminded me of was
No.
an Office quote when Dwight says he's not. I forget the term he uses, if it's moron or idiot, because he goes, "Anytime I'm going to do something, I think, would an idiot do this? And if the answer is yes, then I don't do that thing."
That's not a bad way to work on this. I think it's a good idea. It's a good plan. As we keep venturing off into different geek platforms with all the great quotes. This reminds me of Tommy. Those who have gone before us, dearly departed Tommy. He's not dead. He just doesn't work for SketchUp anymore. Because
we don't kill people when they leave.
So much, not anymore. Not since the incident. But Tommy, more often than not, that's how he communicated, was by movie lines. He would throw a quote out before he would say original words.
Hey, if it works. All right. I feel like we're closing in. We're closing in on
Something.
something.
Closing in on 2:15.
All right, so this is different. My section.
What is that? Are we looking?
My back end.
Oh, that's from the bottom.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
I thought
why.
we were doing
Yeah,
Star Wars, not Lord of the Rings.
Did I
Oh,
make
that
a
was
Lord of the
bag
Rings
end.
comment?
You said something about bag end,
Oh,
but I think you might have said back end.
I think it did. 2:30, you say?
It's time to go to the dentist, huh?
Solid dad jokery right there.
Good. Had to get a little bit in.
Yeah, see, I feel like I've gotten to the point where from here on is that next level of detail that goes deep. And I'm really feeling pretty solid about where this is at. So I feel like I don't want to go a whole lot further.
It's the 80-20 principle, right? You can do most of the important bits in the first 80%.
Right. That last 20% is another couple hours. So I'm gonna solidify this thing. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna make this into a solid group. There is something right here. Maybe that's this chunk that goes across. When I look at it from the front, it looks like it's missing something. But you can see there's that geometry running across here. So I'm going to add that real quick. Okay, there's my model. Where does it actually come from? It goes all the way up. That's this whole panel looks like. Okay, I can do that. All right, so I'm just going to come up and take that back. And then same thing, I'll come up to the same height and take that back. And this isn't a perfect rectangle, so I am just going to draw a line here and then soften it. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks better. So I could hold on to that engine. All right, so I'll do the same thing over here. So I could mirror it over, but it's just such a simple shape. I'll just, I went too deep. I'm gonna go here, just go vertical, go to the same height here. Same thing here. Like that. Connect these two, alt soften. All right. So let's start here. Is this a solid? Internal faces fixed. These aren't solids actually, because I know these are two different pieces. Because if I come in here, I have these two, but this is a solid and this is a solid. So that means I could take these two, outer shell them. And because this is a separate group, I'll have to do it over here too. All right, and now solid, solid, solid.
Hey, looks good to me.
Oops. Too many groups, too deep. Solid, nope. Same thing here. I tend to do this.
Sort of inception joke there.
This is a thing I do. I have found as I start modeling is I will group stuff just to isolate it, or group it to grab a couple of components and hold them together. And what I have to get better about is making sure to go back and fix that at some point, because hold up, I want to make sure I keep my windows here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to let's give some depth to these. I'm going to grab all of these shapes. Go. And I'm going to go to joint push pull and make sure I push the original surface back, and I'm just going to drop these down ever so slightly. There we go. Now, cool. Let's make sure this is still. Oops, something happened here. I don't really care, I guess. Let's see if it's solid. Hey, nice. All right, so now
Nice.
I'll grab these 3, outer shell that. That didn't come along for the ride. Let's undo. Huh. This looks good. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna grab this. It's already pretty big, but I'm gonna go bigger just to do this shell. Does anybody have, let me ask this, I'll throw this out there. Who's willing to find a dimension for the razor edge?
A dimension or an interdimension?
You heard me.
Oh, okay. So I looked earlier.
No, I'm just wondering.
Numbers.
Something.
Problem was they're using space units from a galaxy far, far away.
I'm about to pull this earpiece out.
Do not make me come in there.
And I would like to go in. I would like to go in and scale it to a reasonable size. I could scale it to Laura too, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could use that picture that's got like all the interior stuff and just, scale Laura to be the same size as IG-11. No, he's probably taller than her.
Whoa, some weird things are happening here.
Have you saved recently?
Yeah. I have. I've been tapping command.
Go.
I will say that is one thing that this whole live modeling thing has gotten me better at over time is tapping Command S before I get harassed.
All right. That's good. That's good. So there's a fairly lengthy article on Wikipedia about the Razor Crest, but I don't see any numbers.
Yeah. Oops, nested. They're still nested. Explode. Explode. Solid, solid.
So do you think
solid?
Could you have an actual Mandalorian spaceship that has Beskar plating on it? I mean,
Beskar?
Or Best? You'd have to have a lot. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was mixing it up with Bespin. Right?
Seems like that'd be a
the
lot
gas
of it,
planet.
wouldn't there? Would that be a lot of it? That would be like.
I think it would be a lot, and it's not cheap.
No, you gotta be willing to kill a baby Yoda to get some of that stuff.
Yeah, that sounds horrible, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's rude. That's straight up rude.
I feel like there should be a Star Wars equivalent of an alchemist. Maybe you could turn steel into Beskar.
Well, now you're talking about wizardry again.
All right. I know, space wizards. That's what I want.
All right, so let's bring this down. All right, so Darth Laura that looks reasonable. To Darth Laura right there. It's a big ship. It's not ridiculously huge, but it's big. That's cool.
It's got to be kind of big because they walk the little Ugnaught, his little pet guys, onto it.
It's 2 stories tall too. I mean, this is.
Yeah.
I may have to go a little bit bigger actually. So this looks reasonable. Yeah. I think that's gonna work. I feel happy with having done this thing. I done. What I duded.
I think as I look at it, I think It looks like a very white version of that Mandalorian ship.
That's all. What more could I ask for?
I don't know.
That is the one thing that I will get. I'm not going to complain, but that's a comment I would have about the Mandalorian is everything so like everything Jin has is so silvery. Like I kind of liked his original mismatched armor where some was red and some was blue and it had old chipped paint. And now he's got this super shiny silvery stuff and his whole ship is just silver and I liked the like Luke's speeder with the two tones of brown and red. That was cool. Too much silver.
So that's what
too shiny.
That's one of those things that I kind of wander into, right? Is there's this painting going on with spaceships, but you don't really need paint. In fact, I would wonder, that's a lot of wasted paint, painting your gigantic ship that you're sending off into space. I mean, I understand why the paint jobs are always kind of worn away, because after they got a coat of paint on there, they'll be like, I'm not putting another coat on that. That cost me 2 months' salary.
Yeah.
Or something.
But you got to think, paint's going to last forever in space, right? Because there's no wind, rain, dust.
But you're flying through space debris.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, I watched the aluminum Falcon fly right on through a
asteroid field.
Asteroid field. Thanks.
That did happen. Yeah, I did. So I'm catching flack right now. Let me explain.
That's fine. It's fine because I mean, his armor that he wore, yeah, that's much smaller. He can make that smaller.
Yeah. So yes, Colin did ask about Darth Laura here, and I did take Darth Vader from the warehouse and slap Laura's head on it. I did do that and did a little coloring. It was originally all the same color black, so it was just I did a little grays in there. But yeah, I did cheat a little bit on that one. Usually when I create those, I don't cheat, but that was a rush order because I took Monday off. Yeah.
I don't think you're catching flack. It was just curiosity. And YouTube did make another good point. Microdust and UV, those are all over out there in space, and space whales.
I feel if you hit a space whale, the last thing you have to worry about is the condition of your paint job. I don't know a lot about space whales, but that sounds like that'll leave a mark.
You'd think they'd be pretty hardy because of the space in their name.
Yeah. And them being whales.
And whales, yes.
Well, I think this is like...
This is as good as it gets?
I think we're there. No, I was just trying to think like what other spaceships I've done. I mean, we started this whole live stream with trying to model the Millennium Falcon. And we did our first 3 live streams. We're just doing more and more and more detail on the Falcon. I should look up that model. I don't even know where that's at. And that was fun. That was cool. But this feels a little better to actually get something, to have a finish point and have a goal, which is kind of cool. I'll post this to the warehouse. So if you guys want to grab it and finish it or make it better, please by all means do that. Yeah, Donovan was just asking that same question. Yes, this will go on. I don't do all of them. Like when we do Wednesday and we model parts from imagery together, I don't usually post those because the whole point is to model along. So I don't post those. Same with Mondays, my Q&A models. Those are just like, it's like touring a war zone sometimes. Not worth posting, but I try to put my Friday models up because I'd like to see what you guys do with it. And you guys can do whatever you want with this. Paint it, fix it. If you want to model your own and share it, that's awesome. But yeah, this will go up on the warehouse. I think it turned out pretty cool. And this is a, oh, why is it not solid? Let's see. Oh, I lost my faces again. What?
Oh,
When did that happen?
man, you need to save face. I don't know.
10 surface borders. Oh, but you know what? This is actually, this is kind of easy to fix. I was thinking I'd have to stitch all this together, but really one line like that should, nope, you're making a liar out of me. Don't make me look like a jerk. Why is it not? It should be like just boom, easy boom, no boom. I got no boom. I guess the other thing I could do is I could loft this would be probably quicker. I could just open up Curve Loft and just grab that outline. But then I'd have to grab each of the segments. So it's probably just as quick to stitch this. I don't know at what point I lost that. Huh. I am not excited about that.
I don't know either. I don't think I was there when you did it.
Oh, I see. But we're all going to blame Aaron now, huh? I see how this game goes.
I mean, if not you, who? If not now, when?
I don't know. How about Colin tomorrow? That sounds good. Sorry, Colin. I didn't mean to pick on you. You're the last person who's in my mind.
It's what he gets. He was dissing you for
That's right.
cheating, as he said, with Laura. So he's he's got to get as good as he gives.
Take that.
I don't know if I remember what the Heart of Gold looks like. The spaceship from the Hitchhiker's Guide?
No idea. Hitchhiker's Guide's...
Lawrence's suggestion.
I don't remember when... Well, there's been 2 movies, right? Or what was this?
There's a TV series. Yeah, it's
BBC.
Just a big sphere. At least it was, definitely was in the movie. I don't remember what it was in the actual book, and I didn't ever consume it in BBC.
I remember watching the BBC one, and it was definitely, it's a good thing it was humorous because it was kind of borderline cheesy.
Oh, yeah. No, I have to think that, it's definitely, humor is the entire point of Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah. All right, I'm not gonna make you guys sit and watch me fix this all. I'll fix this up off camera and then post it.
In post.
My post work. What the? All right, that's a thing that happened. Hey, perfect. So, sometimes stuff happens in space battles and such. Life of a bounty hunter. There's wrinkles. All right, but I just, okay, so for May the 4th, my daughter and I went back and we watched the first couple episodes of Mandalorian, and I still enjoyed it just as much as I did the first time I watched it, but I got to ask, anybody who's watched it, that scene where he comes around the bend and he sees Jawa's taking apart his ship, this thing goes into space, right? It's covered in armor, it's got guns, it's got an armory inside, and it doesn't have an alarm. I mean,
yeah.
Shouldn't the first Jawa who touched it just get like electroshocked and turn into smoke? Oh, that bothered me a lot.
He has a gun that vaporizes people. I would think I would totally weaponize my giant fighter spaceship.
Right.
And then on top of that, so does this thing just have all of its bolts completely exposed? I mean, if you walk up to my car, you'd have a hard, it would be easier with mine because I drive a Jeep, but if you walk up to my wife's car, you'd have a hard time removing a body panel without, having to get inside it a little bit first.
Well, I'll say they are Jawas. It's kind of what they do. But still, I really...
Oh, that's your weird little wrinkle, huh?
Yeah, that's it was a parking accident when he first got the Crest.
Well, probably when they're putting it back on, as they reassembled it.
That's right.
After getting all the parts because whenever I disassemble things, I have A, extra parts, and B, parts that won't go back together. And I feel like that would have happened a lot in the disassembly of this particular ship.
Yeah, odds are good. All right. There we go.
Man, we sure do spend a lot of time complaining about something we love.
I still love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
I said we love it.
Sorry.
That was in my sentence.
You're right. You got it right. Cool. Well, I think
Sure.
we're
I think
there.
that looks good.
I don't know. Just gonna put a couple more of these panel lines back on that I softened out. All right, and you, my friend, might be ready.
Stick a fork in it.
It's done. I know. And this is, I kind of want to keep drawing, but but I was saying about spaceships. If you guys like spaceship designs and you haven't seen him before, check out Liam Keating, because he uses SketchUp and he's modeled. I mean, his Star Destroyer is just absolutely amazing. He's got a SketchUp Star Destroyer. He's modeled real stuff like space stations and just super cool things.
The Star Destroyer might have been real. We don't. I mean, there's no real proof that it didn't exist.
That's true. It could have been a photograph.
Yeah. Or maybe they were just channeling this wisdom from another time.
Could be. These are all possibilities. Well, with that though, I'm gonna save. And thank you guys. Hopefully everybody out there is still staying cool, calm, collected, enjoying as much of this weirdness as we can, and safe and sane. That's the important part. We'll get through it all. And hopefully you can come and hang out with us again. We're going to come back. Oh, Command S. We're going to come back and give this this whole Q&A thing another shot on Monday. We'll come in and see what kind of questions you have, what we can look at. And I think I have another model that we can do together on Wednesday. So that'll all be fun. And then a few ideas for what we could do next Friday. So we'll just keep making these.
Having fun on Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll keep doing this. Keep being live as long as you guys keep coming. So yeah, this is where we got today. This is awesome. This is fun, and hopefully we'll see you guys whatever next time is. So that's all we got.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
See you guys.